What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. There's now seeing all eyes on FBI Director Chris Wray. This newest update coming straight from the Senate floor, where he is being questioned on the participation or the involvement of the FBI, the DOJ, in this blatant interference, stab at Donald Trump. We've been seeing, 5 justices coming at Donald Trump with efforts, charade cases, trying to get between him and that spot as president later on this year, guys. And who else to ask? Who should know the answers better than FBI Director Chris Wray, guys? I'm excited to get into the update and see exactly what he knows. So I'm going to get straight to the clips, and I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. So definitely stick around to the end so as I get my thoughts on the back end. And also, YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. Okay, let's get straight to the news. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button for me and also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Senate appropriations, blah, blah, blah. Basically, we're not going to fund this new expanded building for the FBI. Good. Punish them, shut them down, put them on trial when Trump wins the election. Why? Because Christopher Wray, the director, is a weasel, a slimy cover-up weasel, unaccountable. Here's our good guys sweating him down in the sweat box saying, look, why are you hiding, covering up Biden's election interference and trying to get Trump thrown in jail while he's on the ballot? Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. You've come to the right place if you want the must-know news every day. I try and pick out the 4 kind of best stories, cultural impact things, and present them to you. And you guys have been subscribing. So thank you for getting me up to that. We're almost at that 500,000 person mark.
Several federal laws prohibit using governmental authority to interfere in federal elections. And the FBI would be in charge of investigating such a violation of federal law were it to occur. Is that correct?
I'd have to think about the specific examples, but certainly there's a range of types of interference in elections that we have authorities to pursue.
That's a lot of gobbledygook from Speaker Wray with being challenged by Senator, I think it's Haggart. He's a Republican. Speaker Wray is trying to cover up because he has claimed that he's going after election interference, right? And all the Democrats mean is we're going after Trump. We're going after Trump for election interference. That's all they've said. Well, now that the Democrats are performing formal, absolute, widespread election interference, this Republican is going, well, why aren't you looking into what's happening to Trump? And Christopher Wray, his job is to cover up, smoke them out, just be a complete obfuscation, protecting the Department of Justice, which is Merrick Garland, and Biden.
So I guess it depends on the facts, the specific factual scenario.
Certainly happened. I know the FBI has investigated extensively in the past in this arena. Here we have a situation that's unprecedented. No former president, no major candidate for president has ever been prosecuted criminally in American history.
And Christopher Wray, he's going to look at this this outlier event of Trump being prosecuted as a candidate that it's never happened before.
Yet now we have a situation where the incumbent president's major candidate, major opponent, is being prosecuted in 5 separate jurisdictions all by Democrat partisan prosecutors, and all of this culminating right in the middle of an election season. Does that sound to you like coordinated election interference, or is that just a coincidence?
Well, I'm not going to discuss pending state criminal prosecutions.
Yeah, you're not going to discuss it because you have to cover it up. That's an excuse that Christopher Wray and Garland, they all hide behind that. Look, I'm not going to discuss an ongoing blah, blah. This is going to set a pattern because Haggart's going to say the same thing. Is it election interference with these facts I just gave you, or is it a coincidence? And then Speaker Wray says, I don't know. I can't comment.
That's not something I would ever do.
I'm talking about utilizing governmental authority to interfere in an election. Let me get more specific. What we saw happen last week was Alvin Bragg, who ran on a platform of getting Trump do just that with a flimsy made-up theory and a criminal conviction.
This is, remember, the Federal Bureau of, what's the I stand for? People in Exile? Investigation. He's only saying, have you investigated? There's another word for investigated. Looked. Have you looked? You moron. You take his head and you turn it into the camera to stare into the screen and say, look, are you seeing this? Have you looked? And Speaker Wray goes, I cannot comment on if I have looked.
Just this weekend, the leader of the Soros organization came out and advised Democrats to repeat the slogan, convicted felon, so it could be imprinted on voters' minds.
And not only that, but Biden's already rolled out the convicted felon thing. Trump is a convicted felon. That's the two different brands of marketing that you'll see. The Democrats are rolling out. The election interference was only committed by Trump. And then Trump is going to actually be stating facts, which is that actual election interference is happening by Democrats. And of course, Democrats always project what they're doing to you, they're actually doing.
Alvin Bragg facilitated that imprint and did just that. Is that coordinated election interference, or is that just a coincidence that that would happen?
Again, with all due respect, I'm not going to talk about, you're talking about a state.
Well, let me I'll go to a federal level then.
Then here, Christopher Wray, he has 50, all his excuses in this case. I'm not going to comment on a state thing because I'm a Fed thing. He goes, okay, fine, let's go back to the feds.
Back to April of 2022, the New York Times reported that President Biden had told his advisors that he wanted Donald Trump prosecuted. That was printed in the New York Times. Just days after President Trump announces that he's going to enter the election process, Merrick Garland appoints Jack Smith to prosecute Trump, President Biden's opponent. Is this coordinated election interference to go after your opponent in a federal election using the Justice Department to do it?
You're asking about a special counsel appointment by the Attorney General and a pending federal case.
Yeah, and I'm not going to talk about it. Remember, this is how they do it. This is how bureaucrats hide the evil they do and their targeting of Trump. It's never black and white in public. It's never like, hey, you did this. And then you're like, okay, guilty, you got me. That's how you and I talk. That's how you and I do business. That's not how our government works. Our government just uses all these bureaucracies. And that's why it feels like nothing is happening. It's really the Democrats behind the scene are persecuting Trump. They are manipulating the election. And all of this red tape is meant to cloud and slow things down. It's exactly the way Trump's lawyers slowed down all of his court cases so he can get to the election. Okay. Slow dragging your feet is what is part of the strategy.
That is in front of a federal judge, and it's not something that I can appropriately discuss here.
Well, here's another situation. When Letitia James was running for New York Attorney General, she campaigned to get Trump. In fact, Representative Dan Goldman called it an individualized political vendetta. Does it seem that using the criminal justice system for a political vendetta is election interference, or is that just a coincidence too?
Again, I'm just not going to weigh in on pending state criminal cases.
I'm just not going to answer a question because I'd probably get fired and go to jail if I told the truth.
It's not an appropriate role for the FBI.
If the FBI has the duty to investigate violations of federal law, and federal law prohibits the use of governmental authority to interfere in elections, particularly a presidential election of this consequence, the FBI is not investigating, and I presume, who's going to investigate it? Who's going to look into this?
Well, again, I'm not going to talk about who we are or are not investigating.
That sure is convenient to put him, he's supposed to be accountable, okay? He's unelected. He's accountable to Congress. Congress and Senate, they're oversight. These are oversight committees, and he has shared nothing. That, in other words, your government has no oversight over the FBI. It is a invented new authority, and if it doesn't have to answer questions honestly and be transparent, then it has higher authority than your House, your Senate, even your presidency and the Supreme Court. That's why that's why Trump needs to go in and shut them down, fire them all, and we need to try them all. Get this stuff gutted out and cleaned up. This should never happen again, or it's going to get worse.
Because that's not something that's appropriate for me under DOJ rules. I can tell you that we are going to do our part, and we have one part in protecting our elections from the threats that we have jurisdiction to investigate.
I'll translate that gobbledygook for you. The authority that they have to look at is only to look at Trump and accuse him. I'll just tell you, he can't say that, but that's what it means. We're going to work under whatever we have authority under to do, and we have our limited data to look into election, meaning only Trump, only Republicans, only conservatives, and no Democrats ever under, it's like the Hunter Biden laptop. What's that?
Well, the way the legal stars have aligned in this circumstance is deeply concerning, not only to me, but to the American people. And I just stepped through a number of situations where it certainly appears that there is a coordinated effort to go after the president's main political rival. And it's happening, all of these are convening right at the same time, right in the middle of an election year.
I feel bad for this guy that I like how Republicans, you have to treat Speaker Wray like he's a real human being and not a robot, not a political apparatchik. You have to treat him like he has an open mind, like he's actually interested in justice, like he's actually interested in even an investigation. He has no interest. We have to pretend like it in these formal court settings. It's kind of why I like the lack of decorum and honesty from someone like Margie Taylor Greene, she'll sit there and say, now you belong in jail, Speaker Wray, because that's how she's just speaking the way we all think.
They're using facts or theories from years past, but all of it is coming together right at this point in time. It certainly looks like a coordinated effort to me, and it certainly looks like the type of thing that the FBI should be investigating. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, it not only looks like it, it is it. Now, here comes the Madam Chair. She has to do a little cleanup on aisle 7.
Thank you, Senator Haggerty. I would just point out that I think there are a number of people who do not support that conspiracy theory.
Oh, she called him a conspiracy theorist. That's the Democrats. It's a conspiracy. That's a conspiracy. Not that, even though Democrats right now are saying that if Trump gets into office, he's going to stay in office forever, or that Trump coordinated all this stuff with 18 co-defendants in Fulton County. That's a conspiracy. So you can throw around the word conspiracy theorist all you want, but this lady has no right to do it in the middle of he's just asking questions. Is that a conspiracy? But no, she has to really obfuscate and go, look, I know a number of people that don't believe this. Yeah, they're all Democrats. They're all Democrats.
So I appreciate that you have that view.
If it's a conspiracy, the way this aligns is the most incredible thing I've ever seen, Madam Chairman.
That's a pretty amazing coincidence. If this is a conspiracy, that all 5 of these happened in the year right after Trump announces he's going to run, and they dig up 2-year-old, 4-year-old, 8-year-old, 10-year-old convictions and run them all through Democrat operatives, Democrat DAs. Kind of a coincidence.
And I share the director's view that that's not appropriate for the director of the FBI to comment on.
Yeah, you're sick. You also need to be investigated and thrown in jail by Trump. They're going to all be crying, going, hey, you're mean. How dare you? This is why they wouldn't do their jobs. They use their jobs in the protection of the grandeur and wonder and formality of Congress and investigations. They hid behind all that to attack, persecute Trump, and overturn the election of your votes, trying to take your guy off the ballot.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug in Exile. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below. For those who want to go over there and check that out, also you guys to go over there and show our friend Doug a bit of love. Oh my goodness, guys. Talk about getting caught with your pants around your ankles. We got FBI Director Chris Wray here with no answers to any of those questions, because he knows he's guilty. I so badly can't wait until Trump's back in office so we can go ahead and investigate all of them, their whole crew, the FBI director, the whole DOJ, because they're corrupt from top level all the way down to the bottom. It all shows right here. We've got the FBI director, the guy who's at the top, who's supposed to, know all the answers to all the questions, about his guys. But no, he doesn't know anything, and it's all so coincidental. We're seeing Senator Haggerty pleading his case on the correlation between all these cases, charade cases being brought about by these rogue justices, where he's pointing out, Do you not see how D. Alvin Bragg literally ran and campaigned on getting Donald Trump, and then he did exactly that through this, very flimsy, weak foundational case. And of course, we've seen the FBI director went ahead and took a cop-out plea saying that he wouldn't comment on state-level cases that are still ongoing, pending cases. Another pathetic plea cop-out so he doesn't have to answer or be held accountable for the actions of his office that he holds. I mean, come on, guys. And then we've seen our senator giving him multiple other instances where, there's more charade case. We got Letitia James, who also ran on the nature of getting Trump. That's how she got elected in as Attorney General. And then we had Jack Smith, who was appointed, his position was solely created. His office as special counsel, the supposed special counsel, was illegally created just so he could go and get Donald Trump. We got FBI Director Chris Wray, who is seeing no correlation, how this doesn't line up at all for him. And you can't buy that. The people can't buy that. And I'm glad we've got, Senator Haggerty, who's got him on the ropes. Even though he's a little nicer on his delivery than MTG, I feel like he still gets his point across very well. And he lets Christopher Wray know that, we're on to him and we're after him as soon as Donald Trump gets back in that spot as president. It's all over, guys. They're all under investigation. They might get kicked off the island. Definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. What we just seen FBI Director Chris Wray trying to weasel his way out of every single question on the Senate floor, guys. We got Senator Haggerty got him backed up against the wall on the ropes, and he still won't admit that he's as guilty as they come, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know. Do you guys think we should see FBI Director in the cuffs, or do you guys think he should just be removed from office, guys, or both? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure you guys hit that share button, share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible. You guys share the truth. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. It doesn't cost one thing, you guys. Hit that like button for your boy. Also, hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next week.